Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about 4 ways to get a narcissist to leave you alone. Let's get started. You guys know I've been doing all sorts of videos on personal growth subjects and people have really enjoyed them. I've done a few videos such as I need to keep my big mouth shut and I'm really struggling, and people have really been enjoying those videos and have had all sorts of valuable comments. I want to talk about this issue today. I'm going to say a couple things first. Number one, you guys know I am not a mental health professional, so I have some personal knowledge from my own personal experience. It is always good, however, if you want more in-depth information on this, to seek out a professional, someone that's been educated and knows more about this topic than I do. I want to say that first. So this is my own personal opinion. What is a narcissist? And many people have some narcissistic tendencies. Obviously, I'm not diagnosing anyone. Since I said I have minimal information on this, but these are just some things that I personally have gone through, and I have some tips that I think can help you. A narcissist would be somebody such as that, someone that thinks that they're very important, someone that likes a lot of praise and admiration. Folks that I know that tend to have some of these tendencies tend to be people that thrive on drama. They blame others for situations. They don't ever think that they need to be the ones to change. They blame everyone else around them. Those would be people that tend to have some of these issues. And these are some folks I've dealt with. One of the biggest tips, and I'm going to get started with number one, is I've heard people say, go no contact. Have nothing to do with someone that takes your power away, someone that's an energy vampire, somebody that has these types of characteristics. That is easier said than done, though, because number one, you may be working with people that have some of these characteristics, or you may have a family member. So no contact may not be totally possible. But what you could do instead is do minimal contact. Example, you have a sister-in-law or brother-in-law or someone that has some of these types of tendencies and characteristics, and they call you all the time, and because you're a kind person, you lend a listening ear. You find that it's getting draining, and they get upset if you don't call them back right away. You may minimize the contact and shorten those conversations. Be polite but firm and say, you know what, whoever the person is, I really need to let you go. I've got things I need to take care of. And if they say, well, I got one more thing to tell you, say, hey, you know what, I gotta go. Talk to you later, bye, and just hang up. And I've done that, and people have actually thought I was rude to do that, but if someone says I need to let you go, we need to respect those boundaries. So minimal contact would be number one, not no contact. No contact if you have the choice. Number two, the big one, and this is one I recently did, and I have to tell you, I felt so good afterwards. I was on the phone with someone, and I won't go into what the conversation was because that could be a longer video. They disagreed with something that they saw that I did, and they made a comment about it and said that they disagreed and tried to lecture me about something, about how I handled a situation. And you know what? The old Dawn, or the old Money Mom, would have, number one, gotten really agitated and defensive, which was my old response. Number two, explained myself. Number three, defended an action and just went on and over-explain and over-defend myself, which would get me nowhere, and then I got really frustrated. So my number two thing is if you're in a situation where someone's trying to give you unsolicited advice, tell you how to live your life, want to engage you in something that maybe you have opposite values on that, basically silence is golden, no response. So I was on the phone with this particular person, and I just didn't give a response. So they made some comments to me about how they disagreed with how I handled the situation, and I didn't respond at all. In other words, there was silence. And I have to be honest, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to get used to some uncomfortable bouts of silence where no words are said from either party. And I just didn't respond. In other words, they kept it on for a little bit, but I didn't respond. I sat quiet and I said absolutely nothing, which put the ball in their court where they felt really uncomfortable, and then they changed the topic. And this particular person I'm speaking about, like I said, is not on YouTube, and it is someone that I have minimized contact with. By the way, just to let you guys know, this is the time of day where we get the kids that are going up and down the street on their little motorbikes, so you're going to hear noise in the background, and I apologize. So that being said, no emotion from me, no response from me, total silence. And I'm going to tell you what, doing that, I don't feel frustrated, I'm not mad. They're allowed to have their opinion, and you just don't respond to it. And you don't always return calls, and you just minimize the contact, minimize the response, and don't allow them to engage with you on that subject. Another tip, and this came from a woman that is almost 90, one of my mystery shoppers, she's almost 89 by the way, and she is a lovely person. I was talking to her about this type of topic, and I said, how do you handle this? Because this particular mystery shopper of mine, who's a very busy woman, and she never lets anything get her down. She's always in a good mood, she's always positive, and she told me whenever she had people like that in her life, she would simply play the uh-huh game. She would be on the phone or with them in person and go, uh-huh, uh-huh, oh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And that would be her response. And she said that would get people to quiet right away because they weren't getting you riled up. They weren't, they usually try to poke you like with a stick and try to get you really engaged. That's what they want you to do. But when you don't allow them and you give no response and no comment or go, oh, okay, uh-huh, oh, all right, they don't know what to do. Now, I'm going to give you my best tip on how that you can get a narcissist to leave you alone. And I have not seen this tip anywhere, but I've been trying it with a few people that are involved in my life that it has worked like a charm. Okay, many of the folks that I know of that tend to have some of these special qualities tend to be people that like to talk about the same things over and over again, many of their own personal problems, many things that just don't go away, blaming other people. It's kind of the same stuff every day, the same thing over and over and over again. So what I've done with some of those folks that I'm minimizing contact with is I'll bring up topics such as the conscious and subconscious mind and neuroscience and some of the things I'm working on. Well, I have to be honest with you. I've done that. What I've done is I've become boring to these people because I'm not engaging. I'm not, empathizing with them. I'm not, just kind of being more silent about things that they say. And then I'm changing the subject to talk about neuroscience and subconscious mind and things that interest me. Well, guess what? They don't want to talk to me as much anymore because they're not getting it. So if you have people in your life that really love to be enmeshed in drama, start talking to them about the subconscious and unconscious mind. Start talking to them about neuroscience and how brain waves work and manifestation. And I'm going to tell you something. They will run the other way. So that is my best tip. Talk about some things that are related to self-growth, self-actualization, personal growth, all these types of things. And guess what? They don't have an interest in it. So that would be my best tip. Number 4, one of my other good tips is, and this is the toughest one of all, allow them and don't engage, don't argue, don't defend. Allow them to think whatever they want to about you. Because so many times we want to be right. We want to defend our honor. Even if they say something that you know is wrong, who cares? Let them think it. Because we're not going to be able to get them to see things our way, and we're just wasting so much of our valuable time and energy. And I'm just telling you, all these tips have worked great. What's also been great is I've been taking free classes on all sorts of topics about improving myself and doing things to improve ways that I think and do things, and that's really helping me as well. But my best tip is, guys, I'm leaving you with this. Next time you're either in person or you're on the phone with someone that has some of these qualities, change the topic to something about personal growth or subconscious mind. I'm going to tell you right now, that person will want to get off the phone with you. I can guarantee you. So that's all for now. Let me know if you guys want me to do more videos on this type of topic. And also I was thinking of doing video on the gray rock method, which I've been doing some research on. Let me know if that interests you. And if you have any comments about any of these tips I gave, if you have more tips, and if you've used any of these tips and what you think. That's all for now. This is Money Mom signing off, and as always, I love you. Bye-bye.